Hi, and welcome to the videos for section 3.3. This is the first of 3 videos for this section. Section 3.3, we're going to be looking at dividing polynomials. Now, before we get into dividing polynomials, let's kind of think back to maybe 2nd or 3rd grade when you first learned division. Specifically long division. If we had something like, so let's recall, if I said I want you to divide 114 by 4, well, what's the process there? We have the 114, we put it inside our little bracket here. 4 goes on the outside, so the number that we're dividing goes inside, what we're dividing by goes on the outside. And then we have to figure out what goes up here. So how do we figure that? We do what's 11 divided by 4. And that would be what? That would be 2. And once we have that number, or that value on top, what do? We multiply times the 4, that's an 8. And then what do? We subtract. So 11 minus 8 is 3. Now what? Now we bring the next piece down, the 4. And then we repeat the process, right? We have to figure out what number goes up here. So we do what? 34 divided by 4 is what? Well, that's about 8 with a little bit left over. So we multiply around. 8 times 4 is 32. We have subtract. We're left with 2. There's nothing left to bring down. So we would say what? The answer is 28 with a remainder of 2. Or we could write it as 28 and 2 over 4, the remainder over the divisor. And so that's how we would do long division with just integer values. The same holds true for polynomials. So if I want to divide 6x squared minus 26x plus 12, we want to divide that by x minus 4. So set it up the same way, follow through the same process, and let's see what we get here. So the value that I'm dividing goes inside, 6x squared minus 26x plus 12. And what am I dividing by? I'm dividing by x minus 4. So in this case, I'm looking at the 6x squared. I need to know what goes up on top here. And I'm going to look at the first value, the first term in the polynomial that I'm dividing by. So I have what? To figure out what goes up here, I have to do 6x squared divided by this piece here, x. Well, what happens there? This x cancels with one of these, and I get 6x. So same as over here, I had to do 11 divided by 4, this first value divided by what I had outside here, and that gave me the 2. Same idea here, I get 6x. Now I multiply around. So 6x times x, 6x squared. And 6x times negative 4 is minus 24x. These two values should always be the same. They should always line up in our long division of polynomials. When I multiplied around, then what did I do? I subtracted what I just multiplied. So I'm going to put parentheses here, and I keep stressing to you guys, use these parentheses, especially here to keep track of these minus signs. Make sure you do that. So we have what? We have 6x squared minus 6x squared gone. Negative 26x minus a negative 24x means this is really like plus 24x. So minus 26x, all right there, minus 26x plus 24x leaves me with minus 2x. And just as in the long division, I bring down the next piece in my term here, which is the plus 12. So now to figure out the next term in my answer, I have to take this one, minus 2x, divided by this term here, x. So the x's cancel, and I get minus 2. Multiply around, you get what? Negative 2 times x is minus 2x. Negative 2 times negative 4 is plus 8. Subtract this whole thing. So minus 2x minus a negative 2x is plus 2x, which is 0. That's gone. 12 minus 8 is 4. So the answer then, there's nothing left to bring down, so that's my remainder. So when I divide this polynomial by x minus 4, I get 6x minus 2, remainder of 4 over x minus 4. So this top would be my answer when I divide those two polynomials given to me there. So let's try another one. And again, I want you guys, I'll write this example down. Go ahead, get some practice, see if you kind of are picking up the concept. I'm going to erase these two here, so if you need it, go ahead and pause. So for this one, I want you to divide 2x to the third minus 7x squared plus 5 by x minus 3. Now, before you hit pause, hold on. When we're dividing these polynomials, you saw in this case we had what? X squared, x to the first, x to the 0 power, basically. We need to account for every term in the polynomial from the highest degree down to 0. So what that means is in this case we have what? X to the third, x squared. Our x to the first piece is missing. So when I write out the polynomial under the divisor here, I get what? 2x to the third minus 7x squared. And I have to put in a placeholder here. There is no x to the first power, so I'm just going to put plus 0x to the first power. As long as it's times 0, I haven't changed the value of what I started with. And then don't forget we still have this plus 5. And this is being divided by x minus 3. So now that we have that placeholder, and that's critical here, make sure you have, and that goes the same for if this would have been x squared minus 3. We would have wanted to put an x piece in there as well. We need a term for every degree of x from our highest degree down to 0. So now, go ahead and hit pause. Try this methodology we did on the first example. Come back, let's see if you got the right answer. All right, welcome back. So, figuring out this first term, we need what? 2x to the third divided by x. So this x cancels with one of these, leaves me with 2. So I get 2x squared. Whoops. 2x squared. Multiply that around. 2x squared times x is 2x to the third. 2x squared times negative 3 is minus 6x squared. Subtract, so I'm putting in my parentheses, this term is gone, this becomes a plus, so negative 7x squared plus 6x squared is minus x squared. Bring down the 0, so plus 0x. Now I need to know again, minus x squared, and so keep that negative sign with it because it's going to be important. Remember, when we multiply around, we want these two values to always end up the same. So whatever value I have there, if it's a negative 2x, I have to have that. If it's a minus x squared, I need minus x squared. It's getting divided by x, so one of these cancels with one of those, and I'm just left with minus x. So multiply around, negative x times x is negative x squared. Negative x times negative 3 is plus 3x. Parentheses, subtract. These two cancel out. 0x minus 3x is minus 3x. So you saw that 0x didn't really have an effect on us other than just being that placeholder. Otherwise, if I would have brought down if I didn't put that placeholder in, and I would have brought down the 5 here, I would have started getting issues because it's like, wait, there's nothing to subtract this 3x from, what do I do? So as long as I have that placeholder, I'm okay. I get negative 3x. Now bring down the plus 5. The 0x came down there. So lastly, negative 3x divided by x. The x's cancel. I get minus 3. multiply around negative 3 times x, negative 3x. Negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9. Subtract. They cancel out. 5 minus 9 is negative 4. So it's this polynomial with a remainder of negative 4 over x minus 3. Another way to write this is if we didn't want to put the r in there, we can just put minus the remainder piece. So you'll see it two different ways. Not sure if WebAssign is asking you to put it in that form, or if it has like, what's the polynomial, what's the remainder. But that would be the answer you'd get. So that's it. End of video 1. Come on back and we're going to look at something called synthetic division.